Mr. BOUSQUET recounted two incidents where online protest did accomplish the desired objective. The first one had to do with the blocking of WhatsApp messages by telecommunication providers. Within the space of 2 days, he noted that the online protest attracted hundreds of signatures, which forced the telecommunication providers to remove the barricade.
There are online petitions now. There are websites that you could go into or onto and present a petition. I give you a recent example. One of the local service providers decided to block people from getting free WhatsApp on telephones associated with that particular service provider. One individual launched a website online protest which drew hundreds of signatures in a matter of 2 days. That protest, online protest, was submitted to the service provider, which immediately responded by saying it's not going along that line anymore. Now, I found that to be more effective than 300 people marching from VG or 3,000.
Former CARICOM Ambassador EARL Huntley added his voice to the issue. Huntley took a trip down memory lane as far back as the 1950s and 60s when the trade union movement started. Huntley says protest marches were the order of the day.
Marches are not anything new in St. Lucian politics. If you go back to the 50s and 60s, when the St. Lucia Labour Party was in opposition, and the St. Lucia Labour Party, remember, came out of the trade union movement. And so at the beginning in the 50s, there were a lot of protests against working conditions. And then when the party got into power, when the United Workers' Party got into power in 1964, then the marches were by the Labour Party against the United Workers' Party. And that continued, intensified in the 70s, late 1970s, up till about 1979. So marches as a form of protest against the government are not new.
Now, according to Mr. Huntley, the shoe is on the other foot, and it appears that the United Workers' Party has taken its turn at organizing protest marches. But as to how effective the marches are in today's politics, Mr. Huntley says he will have to wait and see.
What has happened is that the politics has changed. Remember that the United Workers' Party was in power for 38 years. So they became the establishment party. And therefore the protests were always against them. The UDLP was not a party that you saw protesting, except in the 81-82 when there was a split in the Labour Party, and the United Workers' Party and the PLP organized this huge protest march to Government House, which had bring down the Labour Party government. So what has happened now, the Labour Party is now in power. It has been in power for 15 years. The shoe is on the other foot. So that the United Workers' Party, which is not a party of protest, has now become the party that is using marches as a protest. So it's basically a change in the politics, and then we'll wait to see whether that tactic of protest marches will be as effective as it was in the 1970s.
At the last UWP organized protest march against gas prices, a bumper crowd turned up in support. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.